Good day. All those believers of truth and geekdom, we're here back again for another episode of Geek and a Nerd. As always, we
Woohoo!
debate. So, what do you have for us today? What do you want to touch base on?
Wow. We got a bunch of different stuff going on. First of all, I think we got to talk about the fact that the live action Last Airbender came out since we last recorded this show. Those that have watched Kygo at all throughout the years know I got into the animated show during the pandemic. Ironically enough, I saw the M. Night Shyamalan movie well before the animated series, and until that point, thought it was a decent movie. It's kind of like finding out you thought your grandpa was a good guy and then he was just the most hardcore Nazi. Because when you watch that show and then you look back at the Shyamalan movie, it is the truest sense of a cinematic abortion that I think I have ever seen in cinema. And now, Danny, where do you stand on the animated series overall?
I like it. It's enjoyable. It's fun, well paced. It's good.
So
That's one of my
the live
favorite
action
scenes.
the thing with the live action was I saw so many reviewers ripping it apart for very, very trivial reasons. Not so much as, oh, we didn't like the plot, this and that. They're comparing it way too heavily to the animated show, which doesn't work on a review level for multiple reasons. Number one, the animated show was 20 episode seasons. This is an 8 episode first season. So people saying that plot things were rushed and smaller side quests weren't featured at all, this was never going to be a direct to screen copy of the animated show. While it does like honor certain scenes and character moments, it is its own tale and it's very, very well done. The kid that plays Aang is amazing, but more so, Zuko and Uncle Iroh carry this show in a way that the animated show let them as well. As much as Avatar is Aang and Katara's story, it's Zuko's just as much. The whole arc that he goes on with the Avatar is incredible. But the one thing I love is anybody that's seen the Shyamalan knows the Earthbender scene where it takes 9 Earthbenders to move that one pebble. And the opening scene of this show, episode 1, is an Earthbender on the run from some firebenders, and he is just housing them with his earthbending. And it's like that. I feel like they were like, this is the one thing we have to redeem right off the bat. And it's done incredibly well. I'm a huge fan of it. I don't agree with all the critical hate that it's getting, especially when something like Dune 2 could be far more heavily criticized. Danny, you have a little more history with Dune than me, but this movie was being hailed, and I quote, as the two towers of our generation. And now
I'm
working at
telling
Alamo
you that
Draft.
from people that like Dune, they never got to see a full realization of a book. The books are thick, they're dense, there's a lot going on, and all they got was an hour and a half movie, which didn't even scratch the surface of things. So this is their first real vision, real view of it. So there's a reason for the hype as far as Dune. And if you like Star Wars, then you should like the movies that was ripped from. Two
No,
things:
no,
Dune
no. You gotta
and
announce the fact
the
people are like,
Fortress.
this is Star Wars for our generation. And it's like, no, Star Wars is Doom.
Yeah, Star Wars is just a rip off of Doom. All most of what it was ripped off of. What was it? The Foundation and um Doom. That's where Star Wars got most of the stuff from. They just made much better versions.
And don't get me wrong, it's a great film. It really made me realize how good of an actor Timothy Chalamet is. But when you compare, and perhaps this is me being biased because it's my favorite films of all time, but when you're going to compare something to the Two Towers, to me, it's it's got to hold a certain weight. Like that comparison is not to be
I
taken
think
lightly.
you need to know the books better. It would help because if
Okay.
you're not a fan of the books, then it's hard to see where they're coming from and what they're talking about.
Okay, but as we discussed on the phone, my main gripe with this is that the entire war and fight of the Fremen is so one-sided. Like these battles are the most lopsided battles I have ever seen. and everybody is a John Wick. It's 2 million John Wicks. And then Danny, I'll go ahead and let you fucking make the point that you made.
You like DC movies, and that's all those are. That's every DC movie ever.
Look, Danny, as I told you then, and it shall now be entombed on my gravestone, I am not here for your facts and your logic.
I'm
All
telling
right?
you, it's just one-sided bitch slaps all around.
For those that don't know, Danny and I had this conversation privately on the phone, and we made that realization to me. And I said out loud, I'm not here for your facts and logic. It caused one of the greatest laughs I think we've ever had in our friendship because it was the most genuine use of that phrase I think I've ever had. I mean, it's incredible, man. But Danny, I want to let you have the floor here because there is a show that has just dropped on Netflix that I believe you are very, very hyped for, and that is a little show that goes by the name of the Three Body Problem.
Yes, there are problems. There are 99 problems, and 3 of them are bodies. I know that they can't capture everything in the books and the series as a whole. So even if they tell the whole story, there's going to be a lot of stuff they won't be able to do. I'm okay with that. Just keep
And
as much as you can.
so again, I'm only 10 minutes into this. I'm not going to go into any spoilers. I will say that unless you have a very deep love of quantum mechanics, particle accelerator science, and things like that, this may not be the show for you because, in the sense where Star Wars and Star Trek can just make up words and technologies and things like that, all this is very much based in fact and actual scientific theory. So I think that can be a little bit disheartening for people because you're like, oh, I feel like an idiot and I can't follow along. I think that's the point. You're supposed to feel like an idiot because this is such an advanced topic. So you're looking at it with a different perspective. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
just look at it from how, because it's mainly how the human race deals with the events that happen. And most people, there's only a small few that actually will have an understanding of what's happening, what can be done, and what they're going to do. Everybody else is going to freak out. So just watch the show and just be part of the masses that freak out.
Oh man, I hope it really messes with some people's heads. Like number 23 style, just cut to dudes drawn on chalkboards like Goodwill Hunting. Like, oh, yeah, figure it out, man. The answers are out there.
Yeah, like I told you some of the stuff that happens in the book, but I'm not going to spoil
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because I want people to catch. I want people to go in blind and just to get hit over the head with what's going to happen because it starts crazy and it just gets worse and is the way, even if they started from what you told me, it's they started kind of quick. That's nothing compared to how things get as it goes on. And we're talking
Uh,
a long story form. This is eons. This is millions of years that are going to pass between all 3 books if they're able to tell the whole tale.
Now, one thing that was exciting about this, especially from your perspective, but it's also big news for us, is we are now partnering with the Alamo Drafthouse Boston Theater. We're going to be able to bring you guys live reactions and reviews from audience members for all the different advanced screenings that we're doing. And the first one of those, which I'll be putting up the footage right after this episode, was of the Three Body Problem screening. Which Danny, though not being there physically, was able to reap the benefits of with a literal assload of Three Body Problem swag down to the napkins. And Danny, being Danny, was like, yeah, I'll take those fucking napkins. Get everything you can. Get the pint glasses, get the coasters, get the posters. And I made an employee there who will remain nameless, but we will just call him PB. Very, very angry. But Danny, are you excited at the idea of us being able to do these live in theater reviews, a la my Flash review from this past summer?
Hmm. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. Grab everybody's. I mean, there's some hits coming out this summer. So we'll have some theater reviews
I'm
of.
like super excited because we're recording this on Thursday, the 21st. I'm actually heading into work early tomorrow to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which, as we have this conversation, sits at a 45% Rotten Tomatoes rating. But I don't give a hot shit because it's Ghostbusters, and the people that love Ghostbusters are going to love Ghostbusters no matter what, unless it's the 2016 version, which we don't even
That wasn't
acknowledge as a
Ghostbusters.
movie.
That was something else.
So do you see they've even changed the name of that movie now to instead of just being Ghostbusters, it's Ghostbusters Answer the Call because they wanted to like distance themselves.
I don't care what they do with it, 'cause I'm not paying attention. And I like Jenny McCarthy. I think she's hilarious. And that's how bad that movie was.
Okay, well, first of all, it is hilarious because you just called her Jenny McCarthy, and that's her cousin. You meant Melissa.
Yeah, Malia, whichever one. Oh yeah, because I was thinking of what's his name. Can't stand that.
And I mean, individually, every one of them are hilarious. Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, all hilarious in their own right, but that movie just never gelled. But people are hating on the Ghostbusters movie and saying, "Oh, it should have just been a one movie franchise and this and that." Ghostbusters at this point is a cultural institution. I mean, every Comic Con we've ever been to, Danny, you always see a setup of the Ghostbusters. It's just one of those
Yeah,
things
we
that's
met
going to
some
live on.
Ghostbusters in Chicago. Like that. This
Yep.
is one of the shows that there's movies that come out with shows or cartoons based on the original movie. Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon. I
It was
bought that
incredible.
DVD set. Man, this is like 20 something years ago. It's amazing. It was
And
hilarious. It
what's
built
crazy
off
about
of
that,
everything. Because like
for,
Buffy
for,
did that, and the best one is Stargate. That
well,
movie was a little thing. The shows that came off of that movie were so beyond what that initial movie was. So good.
Well, apparently one of the criticisms of Frozen Empire is that it's taking a lot of story points from the real Ghostbusters cartoon, which I guess among the big name reviewers is not considered the masterpiece of a show it actually was. Which I loved that show. The first themed birthday party I ever had as a child was a Ghostbusters birthday party. I had the foam proton pack. I had the ghost trap. I had the blonde Egon figures, which makes no reason why they gave Egon the flyest white dude Jerry curl that has ever existed in film.
Yeah,
But
Garfield's
I mean,
voice, like that thing, that show was great. You had what? That scene was hilarious.
and then what could you more? You got the original Ghostbusters. Everyone's back in New York City. You're adding in Patton Oswalt and Kumail Nanjiani. You're suiting up Janine as a Ghostbuster finally. You're developing these two teams with the OGs and the new squad. You're bringing in a new ghost instead of just redoing an old one like they did with Afterlife. Even as good as Afterlife was, it was just Zool again. So I mean, there's a lot to love here. So I'm very excited to see it. Is this on your radar at all?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
The only thing I think I'm hyped up more for is Godzilla Kong New Empire next week. The trailers for that are just getting bananas. It's literally two even teams. It's the Gorilla Scar King against the Gorilla Scar King and Shimu against Godzilla and Kong. They're finally giving Kong his fucking gauntlet that allows him to control lightning. So he's finally going to have an energy attack. Shimu is all about ice, where Godzilla is all about fire. So there's great parallels there. I hear Mothra's coming back in it. Like what they've done with the MonsterVerse movies have been very, very, very interesting to see. I really didn't like Godzilla 2014 that much, but then
Well,
the
this is
way they
what they wanted
expanded
to
it,
do with the MonsterVerse with Tom Cruise. It just was a miserable failure. So they actually
the
got it
Dark
right with
Universe,
the
you mean?
yeah, they actually got it right with this version of it.
Oh, that's the thing too. I mean, there's a scene in the trailer of not only Godzilla and Kong running together, a la the Infinity War trailer. At the end of it, now you see the extra clip where Kong jumps on Godzilla to ride him into battle. Geeks unite! That is Two Towers worthy in my mind. Of like the Battle of Helm's Deep, the level of amped you got for that is what I got seeing Kong jump on Godzilla's back.
Oh, it's good stuff.
And to prove my love even more so, the Godzilla Kong Justice League comic, which just released issue number 7 yesterday, bestowed Kong with the ultimate universal power, and that is that of a Green Lantern ring. I
Yeah,
know, Danny, you're
I
not a
don't care.
fan of this move.
Now Kong's corny, so he needed something to make him halfway interesting. He's
So
still not even close to
wait.
Godzilla. Even with the ring,
So
he's not even close to Godzilla.
so can we officially make Green Lantern Kong your first corny hoe of the week?
Yeah, yeah. Because it doesn't matter what you do to King Kong. He'll always come in third, to Godzilla and then Baby Godzilla.
Dude, okay, so Alamo Drafthouse again, shameless promotion. We're showing like the Godzilla Kong trailer, and then after that, we have this 5-minute stop motion that someone made of Godzilla and Baby Godzilla, like doing shit around the house, and it is fucking hilarious. Like Baby Godzilla, I remembered very briefly from my childhood, and I've gone back and I've watched it. I'm like, that is more adorable than a minion will ever be. Like, and I love the fucking minions.
Yeah, it's him, Godzilla beating up monsters and then kind of pointing to his son. He's like, all right, hit him. And he would just do his little dance and blow smoke rings.
Yeah, he gets it. That's the thing. He doesn't have the atomic breath. He's just
No,
got.
he just, so
He
he
looks
just
like a
goes, he
vapor.
was all amped up and like, oh, here it comes. He goes, huh. His little smoke ring. He's like, what is that? It doesn't even do nothing. Finds out it actually does do stuff. But he was just kind of disappointed that you only have fire, just smoke. Oh, dude, killing me over here.
Dude, and just a random watch. So I've been hitting on my local library lately because it turns out they have amazing movie selections. And today I went and I grabbed the first season of AMC's Interview with a Vampire, which I've always loved the movie. Were you a fan of the Brad Pitt movie?
It was all right.
So it was all right, like not Tom Cruise's best. Dude, it's fucking incredible. So first of all, they race swapped Brad Pitt and Kirsten Dunst with a black dude and a black girl. It is fucking enthralling. I'm 4.5 episodes in. Like it is insanely good storytelling because it's taking place in current day. And the guy that's interviewing him actually first interviewed him 50 years ago, and it ended badly with the vampire trying to kill him. So then he seeks him out 50 years later to continue the interview and give a more truthful tale. And it's really good storytelling, man. AMC quietly puts out these banger series sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not going back to find the guy after that. But to each their own.
So another quick review I want to throw out there is a new John Cena, Zac Efron movie that hit on Amazon Prime called Ricky Stenicki, which when I saw the trailer, I'm like, this just looks like a stupid fucking comedy. And it turned out to be one of the best comedies I've seen in the past 3 or 4 years. It's insanely well made. It boggles my mind it didn't get a theatrical release, but it's just fucking funny from head to toe. Hardcore R rating. It's three friends that have made up this friend to blame things on for all their years. And to prevent them from being found out for lying, they hire John Cena to portray that friend, and hilarity ensues. Definitely give this a strong 9 out of 10. Like I said, one of the best comedies in years. And for it to be free on streaming is a privilege that these children will never understand, Danny. This younger
Well, I mean
generation.
that's the best comedies have been on. What's the one David Spade did? The Real
Oh,
Irina.
the wrong Missy.
Yeah,
The
like that
wrong
movie was
Missy.
hilarious. Like she was
Dude, that
incredible,
movie. Dude, when he wakes up to her giving him the hand job on the plane.
and her smile
Oh,
is just crazy eyes all the way. Like the movies are just wonderful, and they don't get in the theaters, but they have The Hangover, one, two, and like The Hangover. Nothing of that movie was that fun. I didn't even
Danny,
crack a
I feel
smile.
like the way you hate on that, even privately, I feel like if you had time travel, one of the first things you would do is go back and kill Todd Phillips with a shovel before he could make those
Those
movies.
movies, did nothing about them is funny. Like I didn't grin at all watching any of it. Like, ugh, just sad. Like this is what they tell people. You're supposed to laugh, so they laugh. Like, yeah, no, thank you. All the lemmings can go jump off that cliff. I'm good.
And a movie I think we're both hyped for that comes out this week, although in very limited release, is Late Night with the Devil, starring our good friend David Dastmalchian in his first Hollywood leading role. And man, I've seen a couple clips now. We've both seen the trailers. I don't. I can think. I think it's safe to say neither of us are huge fans of the horror genre,
I
let alone
am
like the idea.
anti-horror. I'm not inviting any of that into my life. I don't want nothing to do with it. This is more of a suspense thriller. If okay, so if you liked Mother, that was listed as a horror movie. It wasn't a horror movie. If you like Let Me In or Let the Right One In, depending on which version you saw, the American or the French version. It's more of that. It's more on the lines of that. It's more of a mind-bending suspense thriller under the guise of being a horror movie. but it's more looking into the human psyche.
And it also adds in the mockumentary slash found footage element, which I've always been a huge fan of the found footage genre. Arguably in my top 10 all-time movies, I put Chronicle, which in my opinion is the found footage genre's godfather. Uh, uh, it launched the careers of Dane DeHaan and Michael B. Jordan. But say what you will about Max Landis being a Me Too guy and critical, that is an incredibly well-made movie. And is the superhero genre. I think it's one of the most underrated, right up there with Man of Steel. But yeah, so David Dastmalchian, for those that don't know, we had arguably what will be one of our best celebrity encounters of all time with him. I mean, we've talked about it in the past, but I think it would be hilarious to review this movie together because it could be a very real part of David Dastmalchian's brain that sees us again. It's like, oh, those are those producers from New York
From that
Comic Con.
show. Yeah, that sat in front of me and they didn't even talk to me. What dicks?
I wanted to talk to him, but I was too busy freaking the fuck out that it was goddamn David Dastmalchian. It's fucking Polka Dot Man, bro. So I mean,
Else.
again, we're not fans of the horror genre, but that movie looks awesome, man. The
Yeah,
trailers don't look like they give away too much either, which is a big thing with horror.
yeah, because this is more just events and people beginning to realize what's really happening. It's just, I'm sure it starts off as, oh, look, special effects, this is fake, and oh, ooh, that one got me, and then it's like, oh crap, this is real. I gotta get out of here. By then it's too late.
It's too late, baby. Now it's too late. That's the hard part about doing something like this is that horror movies are so hit or miss. There's never really like these cross-generational horror movies, with the exception of The Exorcist. But this is also a take on the exorcism genre. So it's really mixing suspense thriller, the exorcism genre, found footage, mockumentary into
What
this
was that?
gumbo.
What was that movie? Room 418
Yeah, no, Room 214
with yeah, I
with
think
John
it's
Cusack.
yeah, I think it's more. It's kind of on more on the lines of that kind of movie.
Are you talking about the one where each room was actually just a different one of his personalities?
No, this is the one where he went into the room. Samuel L. Jackson told him not to go in the room.
Oh, Room 1303.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
went in there, and yeah, that's so. Not gonna tell you anything about the movie, but if you like that kind of stuff, it's more of like a. It's not the fear of, oh, you see that demon jump at you, or you see the blood and gore. It's more just the fear of understanding what's happening and like, oh, I do not want to be in that kind of situation.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because you
with
you
it
don't
being
know what's happening at first, but as it progresses through, you gain an understanding, and it starts with the fear of the unknown, and then it becomes the known fear, which gives you even more fear of the unknown. So this is what I do know. So what else is there? And that's what kind of freaks you out when you go down that rabbit hole. So I'm seeing this movie on that kind of lines, which sounds good. I like that kind of stuff.
and then we've also gotten word that starting April 19th, every Monday for 8 straight weeks, Sony will be re-releasing all the live action Spider-Man movies back in theaters in order. And it excites me very much because I've said very recently too, I wish I could see No Way Home again in theaters to react like that. But then I've also got it like I'm gonna go see Toby's Spider-Man 2 because I don't give a fuck about any list that gets put out there. That is one of the top 5 greatest superhero movies ever made. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and what they did in the time. Keep in mind that movie's 2002 and the special effects still hold up.
Yeah, before everything was just CGI and counting on your artists to do stuff. Real helmets, people. Let's just make real helmets again.
And I can tell you what I did not watch that just hit on Disney Plus, and that is a movie called The Marvels. I literally do not think that there is a world where you could even pay me to sit through that movie. I think what Marvel has done now with Kevin Feige getting back in control and kind of, reining in things. So it was released recently this week that Bob Iger said a lot of the reason Marvel struggled is because there was this demand with Disney Plus to just put out as much content as fast as they could. So story and overall quality went by the wayside.
Yeah, like nobody want to see any of that stuff. And I don't know. I mean, they canceled a lot of upcoming movies. No more Eternals, thank goodness. Did not need that. I didn't like the first, like, still annoying. There was no sleeping Celestial, which was the whole point of the Eternals. Sprite was a girl, and they kind of kept her motivation the same, but it was instead like the original Sprite was a boy who got mad at Cersei because she slept with everybody at one point in time, but never him. She's like, "You're a kid, dude. That's gross." She was like, "Okay, well then I'm gonna wake up the sleeping Celestial, which is the strongest one out of all of them, and he's gonna destroy the Earth and all you, and you too. Fine, fine, fine. But still, I'm gonna go back to my initial point. All of you.
So now I do want to ask because these are two competing news stories, one of which we got to break first. What was a cooler reveal for you? The new Superman logo with the chest symbol that we got, or the Fantastic Forecast?
Fantastic Forecast was disappointing. The Superman logo was
I mean, so where do you stand? Let's just address it. Pedro Pascal as Reed
no,
Richards. I don't feel like that's a fit.
no, no. You already had them cast. Everybody already saw it. They already liked it. You could just use that. Instead, you're doing this nonsense. Like you had a husband and wife, they're both actors. Just throw them in there. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of this. And the new Superman emblem is just the Kingdom Come one. When you should just save that for when you do Kingdom Come storyline. You get Cavill back, but once again, DC got to rush everything because they're all geeked up. Can't like really just leave it
I
alone.
I saw a great meme though. It was 3 Superman logos. It was his original, the Kingdom Come, and then his black and white suit one. And the meme was the older Superman gets, the more he forgets what an S looks like. Because over the course of those 3 logos, it just doesn't look like a fucking S anymore,
Wow, this is
which
supposed
I
to be
thought
his
was great.
beginning. I would have just
Oh,
did his initial one with the real circular looking S with the black underneath it, and just kind of bring
yeah,
it back to the
where it's
beginning.
an actual shield.
Yeah, just bring it
Well,
back.
I mean, the Superman and Lois show did that.
Yeah, well, they could have used that one. I don't know, just do
I'm
something.
excited for the movie.
I can't wait to see
It's
101
exciting, but I mean, I just
HANs. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be like 50 superheroes. This is gonna be awesome. With 87 superheroes
you
in 60 minutes. This is gonna be great.
fuck you. All right. I am allowed to be excited. I
We'll
I
see.
I mean,
We'll
it's
see
just
what they
nice to see DC. It's starting to relaunch. They've also said season 2 is not going to follow season 1. So season 1 is no longer canon, and season 2 will take place after the events of Superman Legacy. So what are
Yeah,
your thoughts on that?
seasons.
Because Peacemaker was a surprise hit. It was the number one.
Yeah, I didn't see Peacemaker, but he's deciding he gets to pick and choose what he wants to keep. So we'll see how that works out. I say if you're gonna do a reboot, do a reboot.
It's not it, it's not your fault. The reason why you didn't see Peacemaker is because you can't see John Cena.
That's right. Purposely did not care to. Like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like another guy with a gun in DC that shoots everything. There's like 8 of them
And
in
Danny,
every
so
Suicide Squad movie.
we did have a meme go the most viral we have ever had go on the page, and that was our Men on Films meme that I made that simply just said hated it, and that if you know, you know. So I want to give you the floor this week. What is your hated it for this week's news?
Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Not a fan. Like it. Oh, and since
Hated
Silver
it.
is one of my favorite characters, him being a woman, and it's not even Shayla LaBeouf. If at least if it was Shayla LaBeouf, okay, then I guess you're taking she's doing it instead of Norm Rad. All right, I got something there. I don't know who this surfer is or what's going on, but there are actually few of us out there who really like Silver Surfer. I think Norm Rad's cool. Like this conversations that he had with Thanos when Thanos would mess with him over the course of the years. Like,
And I saw a great new comedian I want to recommend to people called Chad the Bird. which is a dude that does puppet comedy a la Randy Feltface, but he does the most geeky monologues you've ever heard. I'm going to attach in the comments of this video his rant on Madam Web, which, to as hilarious as it is, he says that the writers of this movie must have been the equivalent of nerds in superhero pajamas sniffing powdered Four Loko while surf riding a fire train that's careening off a cliff into a prop plane filled with bad dress and hairspray from the 80s. So, like, it's incredibly well done, his comedy. I'm very excited to see him come up in the world. He's only got 15,000 subscribers right now. So definitely make sure you guys check him out. But we will wrap up today with some Deadpool and Wolverine news we can officially confirm here. And I want to get Danny's thoughts. So a new multiverse concept will be that each universe has what I will dub an anchor hero for the time being, and that being one hero that if they are removed from their universe or killed, that entire universe will vanish. And I think this is a really, really cool way to bring this into Secret Wars. I think it'll have much more validity with the older heroes like Toby and Logan coming back, but also more gravitas on their appearances, knowing that they are those anchor heroes. So if they die, an entire universe dies with them, which I think will lend weight. Whereas the multiverse saga has kind of deadened that a bit for Marvel characters. She's like, oh, we can go grab another one. So by adding this in, you kind of eliminate that Mary Sue type out that you have.
Oh,
What are your
somebody
thoughts on
needs to
that
die.
coming
Somebody needs to
into
die.
the MCU?
This is not DC movies. Make some put consequence back in. Now, all the villains don't have to die at the end of every movie like the MCU did initially, but there needs to be some kind of consequence because the hero's journey is failure and overcoming that failure. So you need to fail, someone needs to pay, and then you learn from that. What movie was it
Absolutely.
that was the new Matrix movie? No one even got like a scratch in that entire movie. So all the pain and death that was in the first two, no one got hit, no one got a boo-boo, no one got a paper cut in that Matrix movie. That was it was too
So
much
bad.
to I guess her.
So bad.
Yeah, it was just bad. It had to be purposely done. You have to do that on purpose. You can't stumble into something that bad by accident, I don't think. Because you would make some part of it.
And then thanks to Danny, I'm going to start posting more of my little character bits to the TikTok that we have here for Geico Network. So follow us on TikTok. It's funny. At the time of this recording, I just posted my new character, Elvish Presley. That's right. I want to thank you all for coming out to see the King. That's right. Hi, King. Gondolin. About. You know my number one hits. If you know the words, sing it too. You ain't nothing but a Balrog, baby.
Post on TikTok.
Love it, man. So, Danny, any final thoughts on this week's episode?
It's just
That's right. We're all about Chinese democracy here.
There's a lot of stuff coming out this summer. So thankfully there's Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther. Look like they're good. Gunslinger Spawn, as always, is repping. Oh, and Hulk. Ooh, Hulk. And for DC,
nice.
His finest. Got to admit, like I actually started. That's my first DC collecting is snatching World's Finest from Jump.
And Green Lantern Civil War just started.
Oh,
that's going to be the series of the summer, man.
So.
Green Lantern Civil War. Also, I want to give it up for the fact that we got approved for our Comic-Con panel at Boston Comic-Con this year. We're going to be doing a night of geek comedy, which is going to be our great little bits and arguments about the comedic world, some characters on my part, a little bit of stand-up, audience involvement. Going to be really exciting. This is going to be a panel that, if it goes well, we're going to take to all the Comic-Cons that we can. Because by the end of this summer, Danny and I will be united in Ohio and be making Ohio the new home base for Get Your Geek On going forward. So instead of Get Your Geek On, it'll be Get Your Geek On Ohio.
Yes. It'd be nice to see. I want some people to argue with me on a few points because there's some comedians that aren't funny, and I want them to please tell me a joke that they've said. But we'll have to do that in real time because I don't want people actually trying to scour through the internet spending like months on end to try to find that
Right.
one half funny thing that they might have said. I'm not sure though.
That's the thing is I do want that. I want that dude to come in with a thesis statement and then just get picked apart by you with the, "Oh, you corny hoe." Like
There's going to be some people getting ragged on this one. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to do the Man of
so
Steel.
check us out for that.
Yes.
Hell
Oh, and if
yes.
anybody
So
wants to come
that's gonna be
and is a Man of Steel hater, please. That's going to be one of the main ones. Is I don't even like DC. Man of
oh,
Steel for
we
me.
welcome the minister. It is top 3 superhero movie of all time for me. It goes Endgame, Man of Steel, and then
Everybody puts Batman
Endgame,
now.
Man of Steel. Fuck Batman. Dark Knight. Yeah, Dark Knight is number 3. Deadpool's right up there though. The first Deadpool movie is a perfect superhero movie.
I'll put the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire one. That's just a good
Awesome,
movie.
man.
Never mind Superman movie.
Well, so exciting to wrap things up. We got the Alamo Draft House, which we will be doing once a week live reactions in theater with fans as they're seeing advanced screenings. June 17th and 18th. That's going to be our fan expo panels at Boston. More Comic Cons to be announced soon. We're back on TikTok posting some new characters for me and Danny, some hilarious rant segments. Danny is going to be doing a corny hoe of the week live segment. That's just going to be a quick little minute video of him ranting on whoever the corny hoe of the week is. And then we want to thank all the new followers to the Geigo Facebook page. We've had 360 plus new followers in the last month. So thank you guys all for joining us. And thank you to the Australian fans for still being there. And I will wrap things up with some Australian slang I learned this week. Do you know what the Australians call smoking a cigarette, Danny?
Nope.
They call it punching a dart, which is going to be my new term for it. Punching a dart.
All right.
So we want
Operation
to
Pine
thank
Gap.
Operation Pine Gap. We love you guys. So check us out on the Facebook page. Of course, this will be available on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll be back next week as well with a Get Your Godzilla on in addition to Geek and the Nerds. So I want to thank you guys. I've been Chuck Keywatts.
I've been D.
And you guys stay geeky.